on our website, apokitchen.co.uk, to sign up. It's a free training. You learn how to cook all these dishes, and you can prepare lovely, healthy meals for your family. Thank you. I want to spice the meat for egusi soup. To boil it, this is goat meat. First of all, I'll put it in the pot. Then I'll put onions already cooked. Okay. And I'll put Maggi cubes. I need to use my hand to squeeze it so that it doesn't stay just one. Okay. That's it. This meat is for egusi soup. I'm going to put the fire and it's going to cook for like 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I'll check if it is done before I can start cooking my egusi soup. There you go. I've not added water yet. I want the meat to steam first before I can add water. So I'm steaming it. It will steam for like 5 minutes or more before I can add water to it, because there's still water that is coming out of the meat. If you can see, there's little water that comes out of the meat. So this, we'll use it to steam the meat first before we can add water. I'll be right back. I'm going to add water now. As you can see, it's still steaming. There's still water coming out of it. I'm going to pour this whole water into it because this is the water I'm going to use to cook the egusi soup. I need the stock for egusi soup. Yeah, this is 1 full cup of water. So we will now leave it to cook. We'll be right back. Yes, I'm back again. I want to start making the main egusi soup right now. That's the stock for the goat meat. I'm going to use it after. Now, this is red oil. First of all, you pour your red oil. Okay. Depend on the quantity of your egusi. This is just a little of red oil. You don't want your soup to be too oily. Okay. Then I will now put onions, because every food you cook, there must be onions in it. It gives it a very good taste. Depend on the quantity of the onion you want. You fry the onions a bit. Okay. You allow it to fry for like 1 minute. That's it. This is my egusi, the melon. It's called egusi in Igbo land. But in English, it's called melon seed.
It's important for you to note what this stage is all about. You know, I showed you the melon seed or the egusi seed in its raw form. So it's important for you to know after blending, because when you put it in the blender, it goes through kind of a transformation. So this is what you're going to get after blending the egusi. So I need us to understand why it's like this at this point. Thank you.
Now, depending on the quantity of soup you want to make, I have this for the pot of soup. This is just a pot of soup that I'm making for a customer. So I'm going to pour this here now because my onion is already fried in the red oil, okay? Then I'm going to put this here to fry it. Melon. with this, you fry the melon with the oil. Allow it to fry a bit. See what I'm doing? You allow this to fry very well. Can you watch me? That's it. Fry it with the oil. Smoothen it up. Allow it to steam for a few seconds because it's still frying. Still frying. You can see it. You need to allow it to fry very well because the egusi will come out in a very beautiful taste. There we go. Then the next step here now is to add the sauce, the stock from the goat meat. There you go. You open this and sieve the water of the goat meat. You're not going to put the goat meat now because it's already cooked. You add the goat meat when your soup is almost done. Watch out what I'm doing. That's us. Then you put your meat aside and allow your egusi to steam. There you go. Allow it to steam. Then I have my stockfish here, already cooked. I'm not going to add this yet because I want this to steam very well. But what I can add now is the crayfish. This is crayfish. You add a little bit of it because you want your egusi to be very tasty. You turn it very well. Cover it, and you lower the lights for it to cook gradually. Then you cover it to cook a bit. That's us. I'll be right back. Yeah, I need to add pepper to it. This pepper, I'm going to blend it now. I have just 4 pieces of chili pepper to go inside the soup. This 4 pieces of pepper, it all depends on the customer you are making the soup for. This is just enough for 1 pot of soup because the customer need it to be very chili. So for this 4 pieces of pepper is enough for the 1 pot of soup because that's how the customer wants it. So what I'll do, I'll put it inside the blender and I'll blend this, just 4 pieces of it. Okay, I'm going to blend it now. Add a little water to it. Yeah, that's us. Watch me. Just put in the pepper that I've just blended. And then I'm going to add water to this now because it's already steamed. I'll add water to the egusi. See? Before you put water, you need to allow the egusi to cook very well. I think it's all right now. It's been cooking for like 20 minutes now. Okay, I'll add water to it. That is a cup of water. I will need more than that. This is just one. That's 2 cups of water. That's enough to make a pot of egusi soup. It all depends on how you want it. So we're going to leave this now to boil. Then I'll add the stock fish. This is stock fish already cooked. And there are some dry fish also. This is dry fish. We call it catfish. And this is stock fish, the ear part of it. And this is stock fish head. You can see. With all this, it will give your egusi soup a very good taste. So I'm going to allow this to boil very well to get cooked. By the time we come back to it, I will add this one and the remaining blended of crayfish. Remember, I've added a little of it earlier on, so I'll pour the remaining one together with the stockfish and the catfish. Okay, so we'll cover this now and allow it to get cooked. Thank you. We'll be right back. I'm back again to check my egusi cooking. Woo la la! Look at that. You see, the egusi is well cooked now. Can you see? Wow. This is it. Now I'm here to add the final part of it, part of the ingredients. I'm going to put the remaining crayfish that I used earlier. Remember, I used part of it earlier on, put in the last one. And I've not added this to it. This is what I usually use to make my soup. I'm going to use, everything depends on how you want it. Some people don't like their food to be too salty. Please don't make your soup salty. If it is, nobody will be able to eat it. So I've added just 2 spoons of this jumbo spice. It gives my soup a very good taste. Okay? Then I'll add a little salt. Mind you, salt is dangerous. Add a little salt. You see what I'm doing? This is enough. Then you stir it. As you can see, the egusi is very thick. If you want it thick like this, fine. But if not, I'm going to add a little water to it to loosen it up. Don't just add cold water. I have boiled water in the kettle here. I'll just add, just to loosen it up. Okay. This water is boiled. So you don't add cold water because it's going to make you start afresh again. That's it. It's just to loosen up your soup. See what I'm doing? Good. Now I'm going to pour the stockfish that is already cooked. You can squeeze it up, you can break them if you want. Now I'm breaking the stockfish. You see? You break it and pour it with the fish. Pour the stockfish because it's already cooked. You stir it. Okay. Now this is the goat meat that I boiled earlier on. I'm going to pour it inside it now. Okay. Then you allow it to cook for 10 more minutes before you bring it down. Ooh la la, look at that. Then as you cook, you need to test it to be sure that you've really gotten the taste of what you want. We don't use kilogram or whatever. We'll test it to be sure. Oh, this is very tasty. Yummy. Ooh. See? So you're going to allow this to cook for like 10 minutes before you can add It's either you're using spinach or you're using ugu, pumpkin leaves. But right now, I'm going to use spinach to put inside it. So I'll allow this to cook for like 10 minutes more. Then I'll add the spinach and bring it down. Thank you very much. I'll be right back. You see, the soup is boiling. Yeah, I have spinach here to add to the egusi soup. This gives it very good taste. Okay. It depends on what you want to make your egusi with. If you want spinach, you use spinach. If you want ugu leaf, some people also use bitter leaves, leaves to make the egusi. It's all your choice. Whatever you want to use, it's still okay. So now, once you put the spinach, you stir it up and allow it to steam for just 2 minutes. And then you bring it down. I'm going to add all. You watch it to see if the first one is okay. If not, you add more. So it depends on the quantity of what you want. It's all by choices. Oh, I love the looks of this egusi soup. Yeah, it looks so nice. Right? That's what's done. Okay. So we're going to allow this now to cook for just 2 minutes. You bring it down. You don't allow your, what's it called, the spinach to overcook. Once you put it, within 1 or 2 minutes, you bring it down. Thank you. Wow, I love the looks of this egusi soup. This looks so yummy. So you can see the egusi is done. I'm going to dish out for my guys here to have a taste of it. Wow, that's it. Looking so yummy. Egusi made with goat meat, stockfish, and spinach. Okay.
Yes. This is some lovely hot pounded jam in Apocom. So we're here to test. We're the tasting committee that have been selected, the lucky ones. Stay tuned. We'll let you know when we are done. Let you know the taste. Even the face, the feeling is Now this is what they call egusi soup. Not all those ones that you cook at home. I swear I'm feeling some things, but I can't talk now. Because the enjoyment, I can't share it. You have to come and experience it. Yes, so you cannot share the no. You can't put it into words. No. You can only experience it. You have to live it. Yeah. It's important.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a nice time watching the practical aspects of the preparation of our egusi soup. I want us to quickly have a look at content, nutritional value of this egusi. It's not just all about saying this, saying that, the nutritional value is balanced. Egusi is naturally made. This is not GMO. They are organic. This egusi is organic, made directly from the soil. The calories are balanced. You have protein, enough protein. You have vitamins. You have vegetable, vitamin C. Everything is represented. You have fish. The carb content in the pounded yam you just saw now. So Nigerians love egusi soup, especially for the fact that it is balanced. Everything our body needs is there. In the right proportion. We have a protein, we have a carbohydrate, we have a vitamin C, we have a potassium, we have iron, everything our body needs. So that's why it's highly revered in Nigeria in whatever we do, in their families, in everyday life of an average Nigerian. So having gone through the slides, gone through the practical, the video where you saw it being done practically, I would like us to rub minds together because this is an interactive session. If you have questions, if there's any step you missed, you're not too sure, you can ask your questions, suggestions, or any contribution you think that will make this this session more interesting. So the floor is open.
Question here. She asks, can you have it without spinach, or is it an integral part of the dish?
That spinach is important. Hi, just from McLaren, your question, can you have it without spinach or it's an integral part? Yes, of the dish. Yes, it is an integral part of the dish because like I said earlier, as you saw earlier, everything is complete. All the nutrients our body needs, is complete. So if you don't like spinach, you can try the pumpkin. The ugu is very good as well, the bitter leaf, but there must be vegetable in it, is important. Thank you. The total cook time depends on the quantity. The one we just watched now is slightly big. For a family of 2, 3, 4, it's practically half of that one. So the total cook time, less than 1 hour. Yeah, less than 1 hour. Less than 1 hour. Because it's important to boil the egusi properly. If the egusi is not properly cooked, it can upset your stomach. So it's important to give the process of cooking that egusi at least 20-25 minutes to make sure you get out the right consistency from it, from the process. Any more questions or suggestions, please?
I think Gloria's got one. All right, Gloria, the floor is yours.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, my dear.
Well done.
God.
Yeah, my contribution is when it comes to egusi soup. The last speaker just said about less than 1 hour. Is it after everything has been prepared, just like Apocom did it? So she has cooked the goat meat, fish, and stockfish. So is it just the egusi soup that you are saying that everything now will be added and it will be less than 1 hour?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think. Okay.
Yeah, once all the ingredients are all prepared, within 1 hour, done.
It will be less than 1 hour. Yeah, that's correct. Well done.
Thank you, Glory. Thank you.
And it's still practice, but yeah, it's still practice, especially I think like on in the kind of in the Highlands and the Western Islands, still definitely practice perhaps more than the city these days. Yeah, I know even in my street. I mean, I don't live in the but like the street that I live in.
Sorry, I can hardly hear you. Please, can you speak up a little bit? No, sorry, can you speak up a bit? I didn't get you. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you properly.
I think the speaker might be so low.
Hello? Hello, Titilaya, are you still there? I think we missed her. Any more questions, contributions, or suggestions? The floor is still open. Okay, while we wait for more questions, I want to take us back to where the video we watched before she added the vegetable, the essence of cooking the egusi in low heat and letting it simmer properly. You can see the way it turned out, the consistency was really good because you have to be sure you get it the way it looked at that video. That's when you know it's not just going to be like, you will see like in bits and pieces, you know, yeah, you've gotten the right consistency. It's important. When you're boiling it, before you add the already cooked fish and meat, you can see the way it looked. It wasn't the same way when she started boiling it. So when it got to the point where it is ready to add the cooked meat and vegetables, you can see they were like scrambled eggs. Yeah, you know you've gotten the real deal. So I would like us to look out for that when you're trying it at home. You know, when you keep turning, and at that point where it looks like scrambled eggs, you know you have hit the nail on the head. So any more contribution, any more questions, please? The floor is still open. One more question.
Yes.
Yeah, McLaren, yeah, you can use vegetable oil if that's what you're comfortable with. There's no problem with that. Okay, you can use vegetable oil instead of palm oil. That's fine.
Can I say something, Gloria?
Please go ahead, Gloria. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you once again. Is a contribution I want to make. Because the egusi soup is full of protein, the meat, the dry fish, the stockfish, the egusi itself is protein. So my suggestion is, when you're eating egusi soup, just like Apocom told us last time, it's better to eat in the afternoon, but at the same time, your eba or semo or pounded yam will be small if you have to take the enough quantity of egusi. So you need to reduce the quantity of the swallow you need to eat with it, just to avoid unnecessary maybe cholesterol or things like that. Everything need to be eaten in moderation, you know, if you understand what I mean. That's my suggestion.
Thank you very much, Gloria. I think I buy into that. Whatever we eat is in moderation, but the truth of the matter is egusi soup, it's a very rich soup, you know, complete in the even sense of it, you know, the nutrients our body requires. But all the same, portion control is advised.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
See, let's unmute here. All right, Sia, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm very happy I got the opportunity to take part in the class like that. But I was going to ask you, what is the secret of my egusi having the consistency of like scrambled egg? Because that's something that I always struggle with.
Good. Thank you for this question. It's just patience. Like I said, don't use iron spoon, a regular aluminum spoon, because it makes it to burn faster. The moment you start burning, you get frustrated. That's why we advise you use wooden spoon or that plastic spoon you saw in the video. So low heat is important. You know, don't put, the heat should be medium, between low and medium heat, because the egusi has oil on it. So when you're turning, use wooden spoon so that you don't make your egusi to burn. And then it will come out naturally once it is properly boiled. You can't be in a hurry. You can't do it in 10 minutes and get that consistency. It's not possible. It will take you at least 20 to 25 minutes, depending on the quantity of the soup you're making. And if you don't get that consistency, you've not gotten the egusi. So it's important, put in a medium heat, use wooden spoon to turn it sparingly, not all the time. When you turn, make sure you turn all the corners so that it won't burn. If it starts burning and it starts being sticky on the pot, you will get that consistency. So it's advised low heat. Use your wooden spoon and turn, at interval to see that you get it. Once that is done, I'm sure you get that scrambled egg consistency. You have to get it. You will.
Thank
And
you.
when it burn, it will change the taste. So that's true.
Because if it burns, the taste will change, the consistency, you won't get it, and you won't like it. So turn it down, the heat, use your wooden spoon, turn, at intervals. You will get there. I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my dear. Thank you. So please, let's make it more interactive. Let's ask questions, suggestions and all that, so that it will be worthwhile. It's an interactive session, remember? Are we still there?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Vera.
Good to have you, Vera.
Okay. I know that there are some egusi that traditionally do not go with vegetables. Especially the ones cooked by people from Ogun State of Nigeria, which they call Egusi Ijebu.
Okay.
And it's usually watery, not as thick in the consistency, just as you have. I wonder if you could also let us know about this, or that is one. Then, do you also know that there is another, I mean, from curiosity, I'm sure there are some people who are here on the platform who know about the egusi that some parts of Igbo people cook, and they call it poropo. That has balls inside. You sometimes feel that those balls are meat. Yes. Then we know that there is another type of egusi that is fried, that people from a place called Nekede in Imo State are here. That's the kind of egusi they eat. Yes, madam. Thank you so very much for this wonderful presentation. It is indeed something that we should all keep books for, and then look forward to reading and practicalizing this again. I'm just wondering, could you just throw some light into these other types of egusi soup?
Thank you very much, Vera. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, there are a lot of the cases can make in a egusi soup. It's not one size fits all, you understand? But for the purpose of this lecture, so we'll take it one step at a time. We don't confuse our audience.
All right, thank you very
much. Yes. So for the purpose of this one, if we digress, I have a feeling that it will confuse our audience because we are mixed here.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
That is correct, and we have taken note of that.
Okay, we've got a question from Fred here. I'm going to unmute him real quick. Oops.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Can hear you, Fred. Go ahead.
I just wanted to shed a light into what my previous caller said, Vera, regarding different type of egusi we have, across different ethnicity. I know probably 2 or 3, and I think the only different ways of cooking that is add tomato into their own kind of a good egusi cooking, where other people you've shown us today, the way you've trained us today. So I think those are the differences in the type of egusi soup I've eaten in the past. Like I said, some taste with tomato, while other taste exactly the way it was presented to us on the video earlier on. So I don't know if that makes sense or if that answers the caller's question.
Okay, thank you for that this contribution, Fred. Yes, the recipe we used in that video, it's I think that's the most acceptable one because having tomatoes in egusi can be very difficult to handle, even in cooking and all that. So I advocate for the one we have used in that video because having to have the quantity of tomatoes to add. If you're not careful with tomatoes, you won't get it the way that one is. This version of the recipe we used is easier. It's a lot of people tolerate this more. You're using the one with tomatoes and all that. You understand? So like I said, it's not wrong, letting people. That I said earlier. There's no one size fits all in cooking egusi, no. But the one that recipe you have watched there is, I think that one has like 80% acceptance all over Nigeria. In my state, Imo State, for instance, the way we do it is the one the last caller Vera was talking about. We mold it, after blending it in on the blender, you put it in the mortar, you pound it, and oil comes and you start molding. That's a long process. How many people have mortar here, for instance, to do that? You understand? So that one can take you like a whole day to prepare the egusi alone. So that's why I said for the purpose of this class, yes, those ones are still there, but for the purpose of this class and the one that has wider acceptability in Nigeria, what we have done is, I think, it has about 80% acceptance, and that's why we chose that one. Hello, are you there?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Yeah. So, like I said, we are from the same state. The process of getting that and all that, it takes forever. It can take you a whole day to prepare egusi, prepare that egusi in that format, which is not, we may not go down for the purpose of the presentation. So that one, I think, will be easier for us and is more acceptable. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask another question, ma?
Feel free, my dear. Go ahead.
Okay. When you made the presentation, perfect, wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
And the practicals, very exciting. And I like the way the chef was doing. I'll be right back. That tickled me a bit. That was interesting.
Thank you.
What I'm asking now is, there was someone who asked a question about 3 questions down the line, who talked about the weight of the strength of calories in egusi, and also mentioned that to bring it down a bit, one should reduce the carbohydrates. I also know that growing up, when you have manual jobs that are quite like laborers and all that, they would rather take 1 spoon of egusi and a mountain top of pounded yam.
I can hear you.
You know what I mean? Because they needed to have more energy to do almost 18 hours job. So it also depends. This is by way of contribution.
Yeah.
The quantity of carbohydrate that you need to support this proteinous soup, very rich soup, depends on the nature of job, and also, as she said, the timing that you eat it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for that contribution, Vera. I appreciate it. What you said makes a lot of sense. It depends on the kind of job you do, because that is why the egusi soup is so acceptable. In every occasion we do in Nigeria, people like it a lot. So it's a good one. It's a good one. Thank you very much for that contribution.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Any more questions and contributions? So we can round up to let 2 people go and do something else for yourselves.
I think somebody else is raising up hand.
Okay.
Is that Gloria Wani? Hello, someone is raising up hand.
Okay. Tawashe.
Yeah. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, my dear.
Yeah, I want to especially thank you for this presentation. I actually joined late. You had to send me a notification via WhatsApp before I could join it. Thank you for that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
The little contribution I want to make is maybe in case of next lecture, it could be on a different recipe.
Sure.
Yeah, the audience should be able to know the nutritional benefits of, for example, the egusi soup that you've cooked today. I think that should be part of the lecture. I think when people actually know what they are eating, it could actually boost their morale. Trying to, yes, when they know actually know what they want to eat, the benefit it's going to give them nutritionally. I think they would be more eager to go into it. That's just my contribution.
I think that was said.
Yes, it
was presented. Yeah.
Came in a bit late. We presented that. We did.
That means if you have to pardon my late comment. I didn't join earlier.
No worries. No, we did.
It's all right. That's quite good. That's quite good. Thank you, man.
So we're going to send everything to to your mail so that you take time to digest and see how far we did. We did justice to that. So everything's going to be sent out, once at the end of this program, so that at the comfort of your homes you can look at it once again, and then if you have more questions, you can send email across and we'll deal with it. Okay.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Thank you, Tewashe. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma. Pleasure.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make a little contribution as well.
Okay.
Some people were phoning in to ask of the next lecture, which probably we're going to take on okra or probably jollof rice. That will be confirmed to all of us shortly. So let me say a very big thank you to everyone that have attended today. Some also were having issues on their network because of poor services, and some people were not able to join. So, but be rest assured that those of you that we are not able to join, we will send all the, we'll send out the recorded of this. We send out to everyone that we are not able to join us, and those that are joined today, we send it out to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us, and that was a very good one from Auntie Elsie. You've done well, the presenter. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my dear. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of this. It was nice having you. And in all honesty, I want us to make this training as interactive as possible. Ask your questions. Like I said, even after this training, anything you really cannot remember, please feel free to send a mail across. We'll answer it, okay? We really want to make an impact. It's not just for this 1 hour meeting. You may not be able to get everything, but like I said earlier, we are here to support you. We're here to, in any way, it's free. It's not going to cost you anything. So if there's anything you missed here, send a message across. It will respond to, okay? Thank you very much for coming, and do have a nice weekend. Good evening.